Welcome to the Shakopee Ice Arena, Shakopee, Minnesota. We have some Minnesota State high school hockey action for you. The visitors, they are the Rosemount Irish, being hosted by the home team. This is the Shakopee Sabers JV team. The goalie dressed for the Sabres, number 1, Logan Avery. This is the final home game of the 2024-2025 season for the Sabres. They'll have 2 more road games before the season wraps up entirely. But a special night for the Sabres. During the varsity game, they'll be honoring our seniors, playing their last regular season home game. Sabres anticipate having a home game for playoffs for the last regular season home game for many of these seniors. All right, starting up front for the Sabres, it's number 17, Dylan Schmitz, the junior number 29, Nathan Heilman, and sophomore number 23, Will O'Neill. Back on the blue line for the Sabres, sophomore number 4, Carter Wagner, and junior number 15, Fletcher Reinhardt. Schmitz works it up the boards, and the arm is in the air. So at the whistle for icing, that'll bring the face-off down there. Sabres will change up their forwards. Now it's Krisak, Radke, and Carlson. Krisak wins the draw to Reinhardt. Reinhardt sends it. Carlson working his way down the ice towards the net. Puck gets blocked away. Running all the way down the ice, and we get a whistle for icing, this time on the Irish. So Sabres will have an offensive zone draw. And they're going to change up their D pair. We'll get a first look at the big man, junior, number 16, Jackson Tolanen, and his D partner, number 18, Harris Gaston, the junior. Carlson works it towards the net. Irish flip it out to center ice, but it's collected by Gaston. Now Carlson. Bump from behind, spins away from pressure. Moves it out of the zone, cross ice for Radke. Radke takes a bump, but moves it back down to Tolanen. Tolanen slides over to Gaston. Gaston's stretch pass gets onto the tape of Radke. Radke carries into the zone, leaves it for Carlson. Carlson tries to move it across for Krisak, and they'll dump that in while they head off for a change. Carlson keeps the forecheck going. Tolanen tries to hold it in the zone, backs off. And the Irish will dump it in the zone. Gaston looks up ice. Stretch pass gets deflected. Did tip something, but they're going to call icing nonetheless. So it'll be Sabres now with a defensive zone draw. They'll get a chance to reset. Next line up front for the Sabres is Schmitz, Nelson, and Dornbos. Schmitz on the draw. Irish control, top of the circle. Block shot by Nelson. Nelson moves it over for Dornbos. Dornbos gets the puck in deep. Rings around the boards for Dornbos. Dornbos out working out of the corner. Moves it towards the front. Intercepted by Schmitz. Schmitz shoots through traffic. Puck into the corner. Top of the zone. Reinhardt was tiptoeing across the blue line and ultimately went off sides. 12:56 remaining in the first period. No shots on goal yet for either team. Krisak takes the draw. Comes wide. Nelson taps it high. Heilman skates under it. O'Neill gives pressure. Now Reinhardt steps in. Reinhardt will put a shot towards the net. Howman with a backhand shot. Howman with another chance. 3 big saves by the Irish, and they'll send it down, put it on net. Reinhardt collects, moves it around for Howman. Howman back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt up to O'Neill. O'Neill crosses the red line, crosses the blue line. O'Neill still with the puck on his tape, moves it ahead for Howman. Howman got a stick on it, directed it towards the net, but another nice save, sent all the way down, and they waved icing off. Wagner picks it up, picks up speed. Turn over in the neutral zone. Irish enter, grab control. Now they try to work it down low. They move it out front. Nice job getting a stick on it by Tolanen. Carlson taps it ahead. Now it comes out for Radke. Radke moves into the zone. Rings it around the boards to the near side. Tolanen steps into it. Schmitz and Tolanen battling for the puck in the corner. Now Carlson working from below the net. Pops out front. Radke tried to move it to his forehand. Got his stick lifted. Now the Irish in transition. They'll dump it in. Hensley to it first. Rings it around the boards. Top of the zone. That makes its way all the way in on Avery, and Avery makes a kick save. They lay it off the boards. Arm is in the air, and it is icing. So Sabres will have a defensive zone draw, and they'll change up their lines. Next for the Sabres, it'll be Krisak, Nelson, Dornbos, with Wagner and Reinhardt back on D. Krisak ready to take the draw. Wins it cleanly back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt trying to work out of the corner. Krisak there to help. Now Reinhardt moves it up the near side boards. Top of the zone, but not out. And we got a whistle as they're going to say Krisak gave him a cross check. So 10:56 remaining. Number 6 for the Sabres, Colton Krisak, will head to the box for presumably a 2-minute minor. And this indication was a cross check. So Sabres are on the penalty kill now. It's Heilman, Wagner, Reinhardt, and O'Neill. Heilman will take the draw. Irish control out to the top of the zone. Puck scoots through, and Avery has to kick it outside. Heilman tries to clear it out to the top of the zone. Through traffic. Avery able to make the save. 20 seconds gone in the Sabre penalty kill. Same 4 out for the Sabres. Irish again control the draw out to the point. With bodies in front, they put a puck towards the net. Wagner tries to flip it out, but it goes up into the netting. So they'll reset. Minute 29 left in the penalty kill. Irish win the draw. That just goes under the stick of O'Neill. Shot through traffic. Avery makes the first save. Loose puck in front, cleared wide by Reinhardt. Now Heilman gets the stick on it and sends it all the way down. 65 seconds left in the penalty kill. Irish start from behind their own net. Carlson giving pressure. Nice job by Carlson putting that puck back out to neutral ice. Radke deflects it. Comes loose. Radke flips it to Carlson. Carlson gloves it to himself. Shorthand opportunity here for Gavin Carlson. He shoots just high. Good scoring chance there by the Sabres. Now it comes loose for Radke. Radke drags to center ice. Now the Irish are set up, but Tolanen deflects it out to the top of the zone. Carlson brings the puck out. Tolonen into the corner. All right, Sabres kill off that penalty. Tolonen battling in the corner. They work it out to the point. Through traffic. Block shot by Carlson. That Gavin Carlson. He's one heck of a player. Fifth skater on for the Sabres is Schmitz to complete the line. Puck ringing around the boards. Tolonen gets to it. Backhands it up to Radke. Radke puts it off the boards for Schmitz. Schmitz through traffic. Gains the zone. His shoot. Blocker into the corner as he heads back, thinking he needed to tag up. Now Wagner, last man back. Reinhardt chasing. Puck rolls in on Avery, and Avery able to get a pad on it, stop the Irish rush. So Sabres kill off the 2-minute minor for cross-check, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey, still a 0-0 game. Next up for the Sabres, it's Krisak, Heilman, O'Neill, Wagner, and Reinhardt. Wagner lays it off the boards. O'Neill sprung into the zone. O'Neill makes a move towards the middle, feeds it to Heilman. Heilman gets a shot towards the net. Now O'Neill looking for options. They move it out front, just goes over Krisak's stick. Wagner takes a shot, sails high and wide, but O'Neill there to take the rebound. Out to the point for Reinhardt, back to O'Neill. O'Neill from the dot, moves it to Krisak in the corner. Krisak shoots low. And the Irish flip it high out to neutral ice. Slides all the way down. Now Reinhardt picks it up, and he'll knife his way through traffic. Reinhardt carries in, gets poke checked, but picked up by Heilman. Heilman between the leg shot, and O'Neill with a rebound opportunity as well. So some fancy footwork and stick work by the Sabres, putting the pressure on the Irish. Halfway through this first period, shots on goal are 7 for the Sabres and 6 for the Irish. Next up, it's Schmitz, Radke, Carlson, Hensley, and Tolonen. Comes out for Hensley. He rings it around the boards. Carlson to it first, working from behind the net. Into the corner, Dylan Schmitz looks for options. Feeds it to the front, intercepted by the Irish, and they'll break the puck out. Hensley puts stick on puck. Tolonen spins away from pressure, looks up ice, and he'll slide it over for Radke. Radke through center ice, gets his stick lifted. And it gets deflected. Icing is waved off. Tolonen collects a rolling puck. Spins it over to Schmitz. Schmitz tries to get it up to Radke. But now back in the zone onto the tape of Schmitz. And he's picking up speed through neutral ice, gains the red line, deposits it deep in the zone. Carlson there to pressure. Stretch pass, misses all targets. Quick whistle, icing with 6:15 remaining in the first. Krisak will take the draw. He's got Dornbos to his right and Nelson to his left. Wagner and Reinhardt back on D. Krisak in front. Dornbos with the chance. Dornbos shoots and he scores! Mitch Dornbos, the only freshman on the Sabres roster, picks up his first official goal of the season. On the last home game here is Max Dornbos. Puts it top shelf. Dornbos had scored in an empty net goal in the Hermantown game, but it was ultimately waved off. So that is officially Dornbos' first goal of the season. Congratulations, Max Dornbos. Now Krisak will take the draw. He's got Heilman to his right and O'Neill to his left. Heilman taps it open ice to himself. Backhands it ahead for O'Neill, who chops it deep into the zone. Now Heilman rings it around the boards to the near corner for O'Neill. O'Neill back to Heilman. Heilman out front for Krisak. Just hops his stick, but O'Neill there at the top of the circle. And the Irish cross center ice. Reinhardt lays it off the boards for Heilman. Heilman moves it ahead for O'Neill. O'Neill into the zone. Makes a move towards the middle. Holds on to the puck, but ultimately gives it over to Krisak. Krisak brings the puck around the boards. Wagner will pinch. We got an arm in the air. They're gonna call a slash on the Sabers. So number 15, Fletcher Reinhardt, will go to the box. 2-minute minor for slashing. So Sabres lead by 1, but they're going down a man with 5:25 left. They're back on the penalty kill. Penalty kill unit out for the Sabres. It's Carlson, Radke, Wagner, and Hensley. Carlson on the draw, wins it to Wagner. Wagner spins away from pressure, lays it off the boards, but not out of the zone. Shot through traffic, deflected wide. Wagner chases it in the corner. Now lays it high off the glass, and that will trickle all the way down. Irish, cross the blue line, cross the red line, cross the blue line. Shot through traffic, backdoor, deflected, but still wide. Wagner shields the puck, rings it around the near side, comes out to the top of the zone. Shot again through traffic. Carlson gets a stick on it. Hensley blocks that shot. Carlson sends it all the way down. A little bit less than a minute in the Sabre penalty kill now. Radke steals the puck. Flips it in deep. We'll head off for a change. Now it's Heilman, O'Neill, Tolanen, and Gaston. Puck into the corner. Gaston after it. Backhands it to Tolanen. Tolanen lays it ahead for Heilman. Heilman into the zone. And he'll toe drag around one. That rolls towards the net. Moves it over to O'Neill. 10 seconds left in the Sabre penalty kill. Comes out to Gaston. Gaston slides it over to Tolanen. Tolanen across the red line. And he'll move it back for O'Neill. Sabres content to let the penalty kill expire. Tolanen lifts it up for Schmitz. Schmitz crosses the red line, gains into the blue line. Schmidt's shot goes off the blocker, up and around. Now comes the neutral ice for Nelson, and he puts it back in the zone as Schmitz was clearing. Gaston looks for options, moves it to Tolanen. Tolanen lays it off the boards. Schmitz backhands it into the zone and leaves it for Dornbos. Dornbos tries to move it to the blue paint, intercepted by the Irish, heading back up ice. Now the Irish cross into the zone with numbers. They get poke checked, and it comes loose for Dornbos. Dornbos moves it to Nelson. Nelson into the zone with possession. Nelson into the corner, and he'll roll the puck down. It's Schmitz and Dornbos into the corner, chasing after it. Back to the far corner. Now back to the near corner. Stretch pass by the Irish. They tip it down. Arm is in the air, but they're going to wave it off as Reinhardt got to it first. Moves it to Wagner. Wagner cross ice for Dornbos. Comes loose for Krisak. Krisak back to Wagner. Wagner through center ice. Tried to thread it through for Dornbos, but it got intercepted. Irish, it whizzed one over the top of the crossbar. Krisak into the zone. Irish cross the red line. Into the boards, into the corner goes Radke. Puck scoots out across neutral ice. Top of the zone and slides out. Tolonen and Carlson battling on the near side wall. Krisak picks it out for Hensley. Hensley deposits it into the zone. Carlson giving pressure. 1 minute remaining. The word from the scorers table is that they will not be resurfacing after the first period to make a little bit of extra time for senior recognition. So there will not be a resurface during the first intermission. They will, of course, resurface during the second intermission. Comes over to Tolonen. Tolonen battles his way to the top of the zone, now flips it out. O'Neill controls the puck with 28 ticks of the clock left here in the first. Moves it back to Schmitz. Schmitz cross ice for Hensley. Hensley across the red line. He rolls it into the corner. O'Neill gives pressure. Heilman bumps his man off the puck. Hensley collects, gets it to Schmitz. Schmitz puts it down with 5 seconds left in the period. Comes around for Heilman. All right. End of the first period. Sabres lead 1-0. Shots on goal are 8 for the Sabres and 7 for the Irish. We will step away just for a quick minute, but they're not going to resurface, so we'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes. All right, back for the second period. It's Schmitz, O'Neill, Heilman up front. Reinhardt and Wagner on D. Top of the zone. Shot through traffic. Goes off the toe of Avery into the corner. O'Neill battling on the near side wall. Top of the zone. Shot through traffic. Picked up by Schmitz. Schmitz picks up speed, gains the red line, gains the blue line. Now Schmitz feeds it out front. Touched by the Irish with a delayed penalty. So with 14:21, the Irish are going to go to the box. A 2-minute minor for interference, as you're not allowed to drop down to a knee to inhibit the player going after the puck. So Sabres going on the power play. They need an extra skater. So it's O'Neill, Heilman, Carlson, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Carlson moves it out to the point for Reinhardt. Reinhardt shot through traffic, gets kicked just wide. Wagner out to Reinhardt. Reinhardt back to Wagner. Wagner cross to the far side to O'Neill, and O'Neill puts it right back across the blue paint. And I don't know who's going to go through the line first. It should be Heilman, and it is. So Sabers convert only 18 seconds into their power play, and they lead by 2 goals off of a tic-tac-toe. Wagner, O'Neill, Heilman. Schmitz, Nelson, and Carlson out now for the Sabres. Reinhardt and Wagner back on D. Wagner bounces it off the boards for Carlson. Carlson puts it in deep. Nelson sneakily on the line side of the goalie traps the puck behind the net. Picked out by Schmitz. Schmitz tries to feed it out front. Now fed down below the red line. And the Irish send it out to open ice where it's collected by Reinhardt. Reinhardt over to Wagner. Wagner flips it ahead, and he'll chase it himself. Battles for the puck down into the corner. Carlson lifts the stick, gets it to Schmitz. Schmitz puts it towards the net, into the corner. Now the Irish do tap it down, and they get a chance. Comes out to the top of the circles, flopped back towards the net. Fed out front, but a lot of Shakopee sticks and sweaters there to send that one back. Now it pops out to neutral ice. Irish will have to tag up. Reinhardt picks it up. Bouncing puck goes off Krisak. Krisak puts it to neutral ice. Gets deflected, and Avery has to glove that one out of the air and freezes the puck. So Sabres will have a defensive zone draw with 12:38 remaining and a 2-goal lead. Next up for the Sabres, they got only 4 skaters out right now, so they're going to need another one. Now it's Schmitz, Dornbos, Radke, Gaston, and Tolanen. Schmitz on the draw. Shot through traffic. Schmitz blocks it. They flip it to neutral ice, where Dornbos picks it up. Into the zone goes Dornbos. Radke feeds it to Schmitz. Schmitz didn't quite get all of that. Comes loose for Tolanen. Tolanen puts it in the zone. Sabres tag up. Radke gives pressure. Stretch pass to neutral ice. Irish carry into the zone with possession. They get a shot through traffic, and it takes a weird bounce off of Avery's stick and goes into the top corner. Rosemount pulls within 1. 11:55 remaining, and we have a 1-goal game. Now it's Krisak, O'Neill, Heilman, Wagner, and Reinhardt. Krisak ready to take the draw. Irish roll it on net. Avery makes double, triple sure to put a good stick and glove on that one. Same 5 out for the Sabres. Krisak to take the draw. Wins it into the corner. Wagner looks up ice, and he fires it. O'Neill trying to skate into it, and does. Leaves it for Heilman. Heilman feeds it out front for Krisak. Krisak's shot was on net, and it was but not for a great kick save. The Sabres would have been back up by 2. Stretch pass far side. Goes off the glove of Reinhardt. And they make a move towards the net. Nice save by Avery. Good job standing tall in the crease. Irish from behind the net. They feed it out front. Nelson feeds it down low. Only blue sweaters there. They'll try to bounce it off the boards, but it comes out to the top of the zone. Shot through traffic, bounces into the corners. Irish feed it in front, and Avery sees it at the last minute and puts a glove on it. Next five out for the Sabres is Carlson, Radke, Nelson, Hensley, and Tolonen. Carlson on the draw. Irish control, top of the zone. Shot blocked by Nelson. Comes loose for Hensley. Tolonen. Corner, we get a whistle. I can't tell who they're taking. It looks like Irish, number 23, going to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. So 10:36. Sabres get their second power play chance. And a whistle as the Irish are going to talk it over. Now we got a timeout called. So Sabres ahead of their power play opportunity.
2 minutes for hooking to be a Sabres power play.
So Sabres getting a chance to rest and organize themselves before they head out for a power play. They scored 12 seconds into their first power play. So the Irish want a chance to talk it over, make sure they're ready.
It's hard to explain. I need to buy one too because I've been trying to make it do this exact same thing for years up right now.
All right, Sabres come out with their first power play unit. It's O'Neill, Carlson, Heilman, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Same group that got their last power play goal. O'Neill will take the draw. Sabres win the draw out to Reinhardt. Reinhardt to Wagner. Wagner back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets it to Carlson. Carlson from the top of the zone. A lot of snow on the ice as they didn't resurface. Reinhardt right back to Carlson. Carlson's cross ice pass into the skates of Wagner. They ring it around to the top of the zone. Heilman leaves it for Reinhardt. Reinhardt walks towards the net, shot towards the net. O'Neill gets a chance on it, and they send it down. Heilman accelerates, clears the puck to open ice, picked up by Wagner. Wagner into the zone. Wagner moves it out to the point for Carlson. Carlson over to Heilman. Heilman with a chance. So we got a minute 18 left in the Sabre power play. They're going to keep the same five out. The Irish will change up all four skaters. O'Neill ready to take the draw. Wins it cleanly to Heilman. Heilman to Reinhardt. Reinhardt feeds it cross ice for Wagner. Wagner puts it down below the net. O'Neill looks for options. He moves it out to Reinhardt. Reinhardt down to Wagner. Wagner from the dot. Feeds it cross ice. A little too hot for Carlson to rein in. Sabres regroup. Wagner, or Reinhardt, rather, spins back around the other way onto the tape of Carlson. Carlson leaves it for Heilman. Heilman, backside, takes a unexpected bounce, and we get a whistle behind the play. We're going to call a trip on the Sabres. So what was a man advantage is now turning into 4-on-4 hockey. So let's take a quick look at the board here. So 9:18 remaining. Sabres had 43 seconds left, so we'll have presumably 43 seconds of 4-on-4 before the Irish will have about 77 seconds of their own power play. 2-minute minor on Carter Wagner. Radke tries to carry it into the zone, but comes back out. Hensley moves it to Tolonen. Tolonen crosses the red line, deposits it into the far corner. Krisak after it. Fed out front, into the corner. Hensley feeds it ahead for Radke. Radke lays it off the boards for Krisak. Back out to neutral ice. Hensley kicks it ahead, lays it off the boards. Krisak chases. So now Sabres are on the penalty kill.
Is this in your way on there? Okay. Just making sure.
Yep. Irish tiptoeing at the top of the zone. They'll carry in. 50 seconds remaining. Tolonen first to it. Sends it all the way down. Stretch pass. Neutral ice. Irish into the zone. Hensley gets it to Radke. Radke backhands it down. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Puck loose.
Shakopee goes right.
5-on-5 hockey, and that shot in on Avery. Catches it in the belly button. So Sabres will have a defensive zone draw. Chance to reset. Now it's Krisak, Heilman, and O'Neill up front with Wagner and Reinhardt on D. Shot off the post. Now out to neutral ice. Irish regroup. Reinhardt moves it ahead for Heilman. Heilman gets it to O'Neill on the backside. O'Neill taps it into the zone. Moves it back out. Now the Irish carry in. Wagner kicks it to himself. Now taps it ahead for O'Neill. O'Neill crosses the red line. Carries it to the blue line. Shot outside of the netting. Wagner moves it to the point. Krisak rings it around the boards to the near side for O'Neill. O'Neill working from below the red line. Moves it back for Heilman. Heilman gets it to the top of the zone for Reinhardt. Reinhardt will shoot through traffic. And O'Neill try to get a stick on it and deflect it right at before it went into the goalie's glove. Next up for the Sabres, it's Carlson, Nelson, Dornbos, Gaston, and Tolonen. Carlson on the draw. Skips out to neutral ice. Tolonen to it. He moves it over to Gaston. Gaston picks up speed. Up ahead for Nelson. Now Carlson. Back to the top of the zone for Gaston. Leaves it for Nelson. Nelson working out of the corner. Carlson and Nelson behind the net. Comes loose for Carlson. He tries to feed it in front for Dornbos. Now the Irish escape. Gaston after it. Pops loose. Nelson will be first to it. Gaston and Carlson battling for the puck from behind the net. Tolonen swoops in, gets stick on it. Tolonen accelerates across neutral ice. He's going to join Nelson. Puck in behind the net. Irish deflected deep into the zone. Carlson to it first. Back to Gaston. Gaston spins it the other direction. Tolonen. He'll flip it to the near side for O'Neill. Irish shoot, and right into the glove of Avery. 4:36 remaining. Sabres lead 2-1. They'll have a defensive zone draw. Now it's Krisak, Heilman, and O'Neill up front with Wagner and Reinhardt back on D. Krisak ready to take the draw. Irish control out to the top of the zone, but intercepted by Heilman. Heilman threads it ahead for O'Neill. Nice pass catch by O'Neill. He controls it into the zone, feeds it. Tried to feed it to Krisak. Now Krisak intercepts at neutral ice. Heilman skates it the other direction. Tries to bounce it off the glass, but it ends up hopping up over the glass and behind the Sabre bench. So they'll have a center ice draw with 4:13 remaining. Krisak, Heilman, O'Neill, Reinhardt, Wagner. Krisak on the draw. Comes across for O'Neill. O'Neill into the zone with control. O'Neill makes his way towards the net, and he'll shoot. He bounces his shot off the pipe. Now Reinhardt to it first. It's back checked by Heilman. Feeds it ahead. But back into the corner it goes. Reinhardt to it first. Far side, Wagner to it first. Shot through traffic. Rolling puck. Now comes out to neutral ice. Irish regroup. Intercepted by Reinhardt. Reinhardt carries into the zone. And he'll feed it across. But it comes back out to neutral ice. Wagner gets a stick on it. Just enough to redirect it down below the net. Now Reinhardt picks it up and we get a whistle for a cross check. Or, nope, interference. You're going to call interference on Radke. So 2:51 remaining. So the Sabres are going back on the penalty kill. 2-minute minor for interference on Radke. Penalty killers out for the Sabres. Schmitz, Hensley, Carlson, and Tolonen. They win the draw out to Tolonen, and Tolonen grabs his 9-iron, sends it all the way down. Irish cross the red line, cross the blue line. Scrum for the puck at the top of the zone. Comes loose for Schmitz. Schmitz skates it out of the zone. Carlson giving pressure. Hensley tries to get it deep, but it gets intercepted, and they'll shoot on Avery. Shot from out there. Avery saw it all the way in. Light work. Minute 17 remaining in the penalty kill. 2:07 left in the second period. Now it's O'Neill, Heilman, Reinhardt, and Wagner. O'Neill to take the face-off. Irish control out to the top of the zone. Shot through traffic. Kicked into the corner. Sabres only one near the puck, and Heilman sends it all the way down. And O'Neill's going to chase it. Wagner flips it out to neutral ice. Irish will have to tag up. 40 seconds remaining in the Saber penalty kill. Puck dumped in. Reinhardt to it first. Taps it up to the up and out of the zone. Now Heilman will get a chance to steal the D to D pass, and he splits the defenseman, carries it in deep. Heilman will ring it around the boards all the way back out to neutral ice. Sabres content to regroup while they kill off the final seconds of the power play. Now Dornbos at the half wall scoots loose for Krisak. Krisak walks towards the net. Nelson was in front. He got tied up, and the Irish send it all the way down. And it does cross 2 red lines, and that is icing. So 37 seconds remaining here in the second period. Sabres lead 2-1, and they'll have an offensive zone draw. It's Krisak, Nelson, Carlson, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Krisak to take the draw. Puck stays right on the dot. Krisak walks it towards the net. Carlson on his backhand. Great save by the Irish goalie. Krisak's pass to Wagner. Wagner lifts it to the near side for Nelson. Nelson gets the puck into the zone. Carlson chases it. Stretch pass. Finds Reinhardt. All right. So Sabres lead 2-1 after 2 periods. We'll take a break while they resurface ice and be back with you in about 14 minutes. All right, we're back for the third period. Sabers and the Irish retake the ice. Clean sheet since before the game even started. First clean sheet, I should say. 15 minutes on the clock. The cage doors are closed. Sabers ahead by 1 goal. As we take a look at the scoreboard, Sabers with 16 shots on net. Irish with 17. Irish have already used their one timeout for the game. We'll start off with some 5-on-5 hockey, which was a bit of a rare occurrence, as I think there was 4, maybe 5 penalties in the second period. First, back in net for the Sabres, number 1, Logan Avery. At center, Dylan Schmitz. Right wing, Nathan Heilman. Left wing, Will O'Neill. And the defensive duo is Wagner and Reinhardt. Let's do this hockey. Careful, boys. Ice is slippery. O'Neill gets tied up. Puck into the corner. Schmitz collects. Gets it to O'Neill. Heilman picks it up. Moves it out to the top of the zone for Wagner. Wagner walks the line. Gets it to O'Neill. O'Neill moves it towards the net. It was actually an Irish stick that put it on net. Sabres will have an offensive zone draw. They will change up their forwards, 27 seconds in. Now it'll be Krisak, Nelson, Carlson. Krisak to take the face-off. Wins it cleanly back to Wagner. Wagner rolls it down behind the net. Spins around to the far side. Nelson to Krisak. Krisak battling forward at the top of the circle. Nelson almost made its way to the back side, but Krisak is there. They move it out for Wagner. Wagner shields the puck. And the Irish cross the red line. They roll one in on Avery. Avery deflects it. Now Wagner off the glass to neutral ice. Nelson ties up the puck, gets it ahead for Krisak. Krisak from the circle. Feeds it out front. Goes out to neutral ice. Wagner slides it over to Tolonen. Tolonen, cross ice pass to Carlson. Carlson tries to backhand it in. Shot through traffic. That goes off the pipe. And now O'Neill looks for options. Bounces it off the boards for Carlson. Carlson taps it into the zone. It rolls on net. The Sabres will have an offensive zone draw with 13:11 remaining. Up front now for the Sabres, it's Schmitz, O'Neill, Heilman, Tolonen, and Gaston. Schmitz on the dot, wins it to Heilman. Heilman's shot, kicked aside. Puck to neutral ice, collected by Tolonen. Tolonen gets across the red line, deposits the puck in the zone. Rung around the boards, but intercepted by Heilman. Heilman sends it back the other direction. Gaston will get to it first. O'Neill out to Gaston. Gaston through traffic. Puck kicked into the corner. O'Neill bumped off the puck. Tolonen cleans that one up in the defensive zone and gets it right to O'Neill. O'Neill crosses the line looking for options. Puck into the corner. Now Heilman. He'll ring it around the boards to open ice onto the tape of Reinhardt. Reinhardt shoots on the back door now. Heilman puts it back towards the net. Puck loose, and the Irish send it wide. Arm is in the air, and it is icing. 12:05 left. Sabres have an offensive zone draw. Now it's Krisak, Radke, Dornbos, Wagner, and Reinhardt. Krisak to take the draw into the corner. Krisak feeds it out front. Krisak wins the puck out of the corner. Now battling for it behind the net. Radke there to help. Puck goes under the skates of Reinhardt, but it's picked up by Wagner. Wagner gets poke checked. Nice one-on-one battle there. Dornbos leaves it for Radke, and we get a hand pass called on the Sabres. Sabres change up all fives. Now it's Schmitz, Carlson, Nelson, Tolonen, and Gaston. Nope, Hensley. Carlson. Across the red line. Schmitz. Rolls it towards the net. Irish crisscrossing the ice, and they'll rip a shot that goes high and wide, and that'll come out to neutral ice. Pressure by Carlson. Leaves it for Nelson. Nelson into the corner. Comes loose for Schmitz. Schmitz at the top of the zone. He puts it into the far corner. Now Tolonen after it. Tolonen and Schmitz battling for it. Puck scoots towards the goal crease, but Tolonen finds some open ice. He crosses the red line. Puts the puck in deep for O'Neill. O'Neill shields the puck while his teammates change. Tries to find Heilman on the far side, but comes back out to neutral ice. O'Neill will deposit it deep in the zone. Krisak to it first. Krisak puts a shot towards the net. Comes out for Reinhardt. Reinhardt down to Heilman. That rolls towards the net and just slides wide. Wagner holds the puck in the zone. Heilman puts it down deep for O'Neill. Reinhardt holds it in the zone, puts it on net. Stretch pass. And the Irish are in. And they go forehand back in. And Rosemount has tied it up with 9:20 left. Great scoring move by the Irish. So we have a 2-2 game. Next up, it's Schmitz, Radke, Dornbos, Tolonen, and Gaston. Schmitz on the draw. Comes loose for Gaston. Gaston over to Tolonen. Dornbos on the forecheck. Lifted over to Tolonen. That scoots under his glove into the corner. Rings it around for Gaston. Gaston ahead for Dornbos to neutral ice. Now Tolonen on the puck. Lifts it. Radke blocks the entry pass. Now Radke works his way up the near side boards, pinches off the puck, scoots loose for Schmitz. And that is icing on the Sabers. 8:23 remaining. Sabers have a defensive zone draw. Now it's Krisak, Nelson, Carlson, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Wagner will ring it around the boards. Trying to spring Carlson, and they'll do it again. Carlson gloves it to himself, gains the zone, bounces it off the back wall, comes around for Krisak. Krisak, Nelson, working behind the net. Try to feed it in from a sharp angle, and the goalie puts a glove on it. 7:55 remaining. Krisak, Carlson, Nelson, Reinhardt, Wagner, Krisak to take the face-off. Rosemount controls. They'll try to escape on the near side. Now Krisak picks up speed through neutral ice. Moves it out to the point for Wagner. Wagner puts it back to Krisak. They lift that one, but that lifts up over the top of the glass. So about half the period gone, 7:31 remaining. They'll need a new puck as that one hopped the boards and went into the tunnel. Schmitz, O'Neill, Heilman, Tolanen, Hensley. Heilman out to Tolanen. Tolanen holds it in the zone. Finds some open ice. Loses the puck. Arm is in the air. Looks like it's going to be a delayed penalty on the Sabers, and it is. So they're going to call, with 7:11 remaining, they're going to call a 2-minute minor for tripping on number 16, Jackson Tolanen. So Sabres are on the penalty kill. Penalty killers are Krisak, Carlson, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Carlson fronts. Pops the stick and it goes down. 1:25 remaining in the Sabre penalty kill. It's a 2-2 game. Krisak pressures. Now the Irish across the red line, but Carlson meets him there. Dislodges the puck, comes loose to Reinhardt. Reinhardt sends it down. Stretch pass intercepted by Krisak. Now the Irish into the zone with control. They feed it to the near side corner. Wagner on it. Doesn't quite get all of it. It pops out to the top of the zone. Shot through traffic, blocked by Wagner. Now Reinhardt in the corner, and he'll fire it but up to the top of the zone, but not out. Shot through traffic. Krisak battles for it and flips it to neutral ice. 30 seconds remaining in the Sabre penalty kill. Stretch pass. Irish into the zone. They'll shoot. Comes loose for O'Neill. And O'Neill sends it down, but is intercepted right at neutral ice. Wagner tips it ahead. Heilman. And Heilman sends it down. And that'll pretty much do it for the Sabre penalty kill. Back to 5-on-5 hockey now. Into the corner. Reinhardt picks it up. He'll move it to O'Neill on the far side and tries to feather it ahead for Schmitz. Schmitz gets a backhand on the puck. He flips it over the crossbar. Wagner to Schmitz. And that'll be icing on the Sabers. 4:31 remaining. The game is tied 2-2. It's a good hockey game right now. Now it's
This is your stuff over here, right?
Krisak, Radke, Dornbos, Gaston, and Tolanen. Irish control to the top of the zone. Shot through traffic. Top of the zone, Dornbos out to challenge. Now Gaston into the near side corner. Brings it up the boards for Radke. Radke slides it across for Dornbos. Tolanen moves it to Radke. Radke crosses the red line, crosses the blue line, and he'll shoot inside out. His shot gets blocked. Into the corner goes Krisak. Krisak rolls it around the boards into the far corner. Radke battles for it, makes a move towards the net, and he'll shoot towards the net. Loose puck in front, and ultimately covered up by the Irish goalie. 3:41 remaining. Pressure's ramping up now. Schmitz, Nelson, Carlson, Reinhardt, Wagner. Schmitz will take the draw. They'll reset and do it again. Irish control the faceoff. Wagner steps up and in. Shields the puck. Goes around behind the back of the net. And for Nelson, Nelson had a big chance at it, but now the Irish the other way. They'll shoot and roll one in on Avery. He'll cover. 3:20 remaining. Sabres with a defensive zone draw. It's Krisak, O'Neill, Heilman, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Wagner bounces it off the glass. Inside out, save Avery. Now Heilman with a rolling, bouncing puck gets it ahead to O'Neill. O'Neill Reinhardt moves it to Krisak. Krisak sends it to the far side. Nice pass catch by O'Neill. O'Neill puts on the brakes, gets it back to Krisak, but Wagner ultimately controls it. Now Reinhardt onto the tape of Heilman to Krisak. Krisak shoots and breaks his stick. Reinhardt will put this one on net. Or I guess deep in the zone. There is hardware all over the ice right now. 2 broken sticks. O'Neill to Wagner. Wagner to O'Neill. O'Neill was getting ready to head off for a change. Now Reinhardt feeds it ahead. The Irish are offsides. 2:03 remaining. Get a chance to clean up all the stick fragments. Now we got a whistle. And we got a timeout called by the Sabres. So 2:03 remaining. Coach Bubba Kubish will give his players a breather and talk about what they want to do in this remaining 2 minutes of the game. 2-2 game. 2:03 left on the clock. 2 broken sticks picked up. So mentioned this earlier, but it is senior day here for the Sabres. It's their last regular season home game. So following the JV game in the arena, we'll be recognizing Shakopee seniors. They're down in the tunnel now. 8 senior players and 2 senior managers. We'll get some recognition. And for the game, the big one, ultimately, for all intents and purposes, amounts to the conference championship. Sabers varsity against Rosemount varsity. Sabers have not lost a conference game. They're undefeated in conference. Rosemount has only 1 loss in conference, and it came against the Sabers when the Sabers went to Rosemount and won 4-2. So should the Irish win that game, it will likely be conference co-champions, and the Sabers have a chance to win the conference with a win here at home on senior night. That one goes all the way down for icing, so Sabers coming out of the timeout, ice the puck, and there's a minute 57 left, and they'll have a defensive zone draw. Important face-off win here for the Sabers. Krisak will take it, wins it cleanly, back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt with the puck in his skates. Comes loose for Krisak. Krisak gets it up to O'Neill. O'Neill gains the red line. Feathers it out for Krisak. Krisak with a chance. Big save by the Rosemount. Wagner feeds it ahead to O'Neill. O'Neill into the zone. Reinhardt keeps it in the zone, but now it comes out. Shot right into the glove of Avery. 2 big saves. One on one end of the ice, one on the other end of the ice. It's appropriate that shots on goal are 26-25. This is a really good hockey game. Now it's Schmitz, Radke, Carlson, Tolonen, and Hensley. Tolonen lifts the puck down the ice, and it just crosses the line for an icing. They used a 8-iron when a 9-iron would have been the trick. Same 5 for the Sabers. Schmitz. Puck tied up. Tolonen battling for it. Tolonen and Schmitz. Top of the zone. Shot through traffic. Loose puck in front. Still loose. Still loose. Behind the net. Top of the zone, Carlson. Now Radke tried to block a shot, gets a stick on it, deflects it behind the net. Schmitz to it. Moves it to the top of the zone. Schmitz, top of the zone, still held in, and Avery sees that one all the way in and puts it in his glove. 26 seconds remaining. 26.7. Shots are 26-26. There's 26 seconds left in the third period of this 2-2 game. Now it's Krisak, Heilman, O'Neill, Reinhardt, and Wagner. Krisak on the draw. Controlled by the Irish, top of the zone. Into the skates of Reinhardt. Now Krisak pressures. They feed it out front. Reinhardt intercepts. Feeds it ahead for O'Neill. O'Neill crosses the red line, feeds it ahead. Heilman skates under it. And Heilman puts it towards the net, but that gets blocked and deflected. Now Heilman in the corner. 10 seconds remaining. And they flip it out to neutral ice. And Krisak will skate this one back. All right, we have overtime. So I think they get it's either 5 or 8 minutes of running time. 6 minutes. So 6 minutes of run time, sudden death before they end up in a tie. But next goal wins. Sabers getting a chance to take a breath. Okay, they will switch ends. So really, it couldn't be any more even. 26-26. Time of possession has been probably a little bit in favor of the Sabers, but quality scoring chances have been on both sides of the puck. Irish into the zone, they'll rip a shot. Puck collected by Reinhardt over to O'Neill. O'Neill feeds it to the far side. Now Reinhardt into the zone. Felicia Reinhardt with a chance. Big save. Now to Krisak. To Reinhardt. Back to Krisak. Krisak far side for Wagner. Wagner will shoot. Deflected in front. Now Heilman with a backhand chance towards the net. Just rolls off over the stick of O'Neill. Reinhardt puts it towards the net. O'Neill in front. Now Heilman with a chance. Heilman's shot rips wide. My goodness. Over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt shoots through traffic. He's stuck in front and is gobbled up. What a game! Sabres keep the same five out. Krisak, Heilman, O'Neill, Reinhardt, and Wagner. They win it to Heilman. Heilman shoots through traffic, blocked into the far corner. Irish trying to spring some people, but comes over to Krisak. Krisak flips it to O'Neill. O'Neill back to Krisak. Into the zone. O'Neill leaves it for Wagner. Wagner with a rolling puck. Rolls it back for Heilman. Heilman tries to ring it around the boards, but it goes off the referee's skates and stays in the zone. Now Wagner with possession. Kisses it off the boards for Heilman. Heilman with Wagner and O'Neill over them. They shoot. Chance number one, chance number two. Puck goes behind the net. Now they flip it ahead to neutral ice. Irish carry in. Reinhardt, last man back. Shot in on Avery, and he puts it in his glove. .357 remaining. This is run time. Tolonen flips it to neutral ice. Carlson to it first. Now picked up by Schmitz. It's Schmitz, Carlson, and Radke with Tolonen and Gaston back on D. Schmitz chases the puck down below the red line. Stretch pass. Comes loose for Gaston. Gaston gets it onto the tape of Schmitz. Schmitz deflects it into the zone. They put it high off the glass. Gaston up to Schmitz. Shot blocked by Tolonen, picked up by Gaston. Gaston puts it off the shoulder of Schmitz. Shot in behind the net. Tolonen to it first. And he'll fling it to the far side. And it comes loose for Carlson. Gavin Carlson doesn't get its stick on it. About 150 seconds left. Again, we're in run time. Reinhardt lays it off for Krisak. Krisak across the red line. Krisak walking in, gets this puck tied up, comes to neutral ice. Wagner shielding the puck for Reinhardt. Reinhardt stick handles through traffic. Reinhardt walking in, picks up speed, makes his way towards the net, but gets ridden off the puck, and we get a whistle. Reinhardt got dragged down, but referee just keeping the arm down on that one as we're in overtime. Krisak, Heilman, O'Neill. Wagner keeps the puck in the zone. Krisak feeds it out front. Irish escape. They cross the red line. Reinhardt got a stick on it, and it went up into the netting. Now it's Krisak, Heilman, O'Neill, Reinhardt, Wagner, Krisak to take the draw. Moves it over to Reinhardt. Irish control. Work it puck from behind the net. They feed it out top. Big save by Avery. Wagner moves it around the boards for Heilman. Heilman tries to get it out of the zone, but the Irish hold it in, and they'll shoot through traffic. Avery shrugs that one off. Now it comes loose for O'Neill. Stretch pass. Heilman into the zone. Nathan Heilman, who shoots. His shot goes wide. Then now Reinhardt last one back, one-on-one. Separates player from puck. Does it again. They shoot. Two big saves by Avery. Heilman gloves it to himself. 27 seconds left. Now O'Neill in open space. He's got Krisak with him. And they feather it out for Krisak. Krisak goes forehand backhand, tries to lift it. Heilman feeds it back across the blue paint. Krisak puts it back in front. And it gets sent down. That should just about do it. My goodness. What a game. That is some fantastic hockey. So Sabres are back in action, I believe Tuesday night. They're traveling to Lakeville North. But this one ends 2-2. Great hockey game.